Everyone that has followed the lore so far knows that it was the Legion and Kil'Jaeden that created the Lich King in order to soften up the resistance on Azeroth for the brand new invasion. However, with this new Shadowlands information, spoiler alert, it seems like the Lich King is an agent of the Maw, and he might have even been above the Legion and Sargeras the entire time. So who really created the Lich King? Brought to you by Gamivo.com. Make sure to click the link in the description and get Shadowlands as well as game time at discounted prices. We all know the original story, and in my opinion, the new lore was just added to give it a bit more depth. I don't believe Blizzard ever had this in consideration in the first place, but what we knew before was probably the actual story that it was. So, to quickly sum it up, Ner'Zhul screwed up, destroyed Draenor, was caught by Kil'Jaeden, tortured, and was put in place as a Lich King. Then he built up his power, took over an entire continent, manipulated Arthas, rebelled against the Legion, and, you know, the entire ordeal. However, new dreadlord data mined information really changed up what we knew so far. Originally, the Ner'Zhul were the master manipulators of the Legion. They forged the armor and the sword, and he essentially controlled the Lich King. Now, none of that is actually retconned, but right now it seems like that by being master manipulators of the Legion, they had also manipulated and played the Legion and Sargeras at the same time. Nothing is 100% confirmed at this current point, but it seems like the dreadlords have been the actual agents of someone in the Shadowlands, either of Revendred or of the Jailer, but most likely the Jailer, and they have played literally the longest con in all of history. It is actually super impressive when you think about it. The entire creation of the Legion was a ruse, it seems like. They got all the cosmic forces in the universe to battle each other in order to empower the Realm of Death and to weaken everyone else. They played the Titans to battle the Void and to battle the Light and Life, and it was just complete chaos for thousands and thousands of years. Now, when you have this new information in mind, the actual creation process of the Lich King is entirely different. You kinda see it with entirely different eyes. If the dreadlords are minions of the Jailer, they obviously had direct access to the vilest place in the universe, the Maw, and obviously the Shadowlands. Then they told Kil'Jaeden, we have a plan. Now, obviously Kil'Jaeden is one of the most intelligent beings in the universe, so they couldn't just lie to him directly, so they probably let that entire orc invasion thing go to waste. They might have even manipulated that as well. Kil'Jaeden at that point was furious about the waste of time and resources. He really made himself seem like a fool, and the dreadlords might have convinced him, hey, we can still use the orcs, but let's try something a lot more stealthy, and instead of invading the planet directly as we did, we can start everything from within. They probably planned that entire thing from the start. Kil'Jaeden might have seen through this plan, but he was probably so desperate that he just went with it. Keep in mind, dreadlords are master manipulators, and when they go with something, they dedicate themselves entirely. For example, they allowed Arthas to literally kill Morganis to make it seem 100% genuine, even though he was never actually killed. So, when you think of it this way, it really makes a lot of sense, but what exactly was the point of creating the Lich King? Like, what was the actual point, not the entire Legion story that we've known so far? My thoughts are that it was probably a plot to get the influence of the Jailer into the material plane, and probably had something to do with the World Soul of Azeroth in the long run. The Jailer most likely wanted to claim it. See, the helm and the sword is 100% confirmed to be related to the Jailer, and while he was locked away, there was no way for him to reach this plane. However, one thing we've known about since forever in Warcraft is that it takes a lot of energy to get something to the material plane, especially if it is very powerful. For example, the summoning of Archimond or the Ball of Eternity in Sargeras, you can just summon something gigantic into the material plane. You need a lot of power behind it. So the dreadlords manipulated the Legion and their machinery and just siphoned their immense resources in order to smuggle the artifacts of the Jailer into the material plane, therefore, for the first time ever, getting his direct presence on Azeroth. Why I think this is the first time is because Devos was absolutely shocked when she realized Arthas was an agent of the Maw. No one really saw this entire thing coming. So it wasn't the original story with Ner'Zhul that was just trying to break free because he hated his prison, and because of that he screwed over the Legion, but it was probably the Jailer all along that was trying to grow his influence. He was getting the defenders of Azeroth to battle the Legion, and therefore they would all weaken themselves, the dead would pile up, and would empower the forces of the Jailer, while the Legion would lose their hold on the world. Now, with weakened control, the Jailer could grow more powerful. I don't think Arthas or Ner'Zhul were really that in on this plan, they were probably just pawns in this entire thing, but I do believe had Frostmourne grown more powerful and had we not defeated the Lich King initially, Jailer's hold might have manifested a lot earlier. The Jailer kinda failed in Wrath of the Lich King, and then he hatched a new plan with Sylvanas to break the Machine of Death, to strengthen the Maw, and to manifest himself, which will most likely happen in the Shadowlands. So it turns out that the Lich King was literally one of the most powerful entities on Azeroth, even more important than the Legion, and that had we not defeated him, the Shadowlands would have happened a lot sooner. Now, the Lich King is no more, so there was just a stepping stone in that entire gigantic plan, and we're going to face the true Lich King, the guy that created him. Thank you for watching. Check out When Did the Machine of Death Break by clicking on the screen, and also check out Donald's Academy for videos on real world history and science. See you next time.